Hey guys, hope I'm catching you all on a great day and welcome to another qmoniep build video. And today let's go ahead and get some Halloween vibes going with the Cursed Spirit build. Now before we dive in, let's go ahead and explain that this isn't just a gimmick, guys. This build is definitely OP and can get through towers and all that very easily, but why not go ahead and celebrate the holidays? Now getting into it, with this build we're going to be using a lot of void damage and we're going to be utilizing weapons that are going to benefit from that void damage. And we're also going to be throwing in some spooky spirits into the mix. Why not? Now, one way we're going to be focusing on void damage is we're going to be applying soul shatter build up, then soul shattering enemies with our hammer, and that's going to shoot out void projectiles. It's already doing a lot of damage, but since we have built up void damage, it's going to do that much more. We're also going to be setting void sentinels down in a lot of different places, which will be applying curse to different enemies, also helping us out put a little bit more damage. So let's dive in and look at our detailed stats, guys. So as you can see, our resistances are 63%, capped out as the usual. You probably already know how I got like that by now, but we also want to focus on some crit chance with this build. It's going to help us out in a few different ways. All right, so our first weapon we're going to be using is the Void Strike Hammer, guys. So the primary there reads, whenever you soul shatter an enemy with your southern technique, you shoot up to 3 projectiles that each deal 6,201 void damage to enemies. Now of course, if you have a Maul of the Obsidian pack with a good primary, secondary primary, that'll be perfect, guys. But to go ahead and get this primal with this amount of damage, I went ahead and ran with it. For the next weapon, we're going to be using the Sunflare Destiny. Of course, we got beautiful primaries here, so we summon a Void Sentinel with our northern technique, and also when we perform a death blow, we're going to release a shockwave that does a ton of void damage, not to mention we're stacking all this void damage, so that's going to just help us out a lot. But trust me, guys, I realize those two primaries aren't the easiest thing to get on one Sunflare Destiny, so you could go ahead and use the regular primary weapons, the Heart Seeker or the Void Sight. Because the beautiful thing about it, guys, if you get the regular Heart Seeker, it's going to get that much more void damage, and also you get more secondaries, so it's a win-win. Now for our secondaries on the weapons, you want to focus on crit chance, of course, but if you can't get that, at least try to get void damage or damage to cursed enemies. And now for our spooky spirit. I quit. But anyway, we're going to be using the Brother's Promise. So this is how we're going to summon our Spirit Warrior ally whenever we soul shatter an enemy. Definitely want crit hit chance there if you can. Resistance to all helps if you get a vitality. Now we're running Meteor Star, but you definitely don't need this one. I ran with it because it's vitality, but we go ahead and substitute vitality resistance to all with our augments. So it's not needed, but I went ahead and ran with it because it's one that I have, and also I have a ton of crit chance on it, but we definitely just want that Lion Talisman perk on this one, guys. Now for our first ring, is interchangeable. I'm using Heavenly Reversal right now, but you can go ahead and switch that out for Sheridan's Story. Of course, this is time and attack damage, so with consumption, so you know that kind of gets old. With the Sheridan's Story, that's definitely extra useful as well, because we're going to be applying multiple stacks, and the more stacks we add, the more damage our spirit ally can do, and the more our void sentinels can do. So it's kind of your choice there. Doesn't matter whichever one you choose, both are might. So the secondaries I look out for mainly is void damage. After that, damage to cursed enemies, then soul shatter if you're running the Sheridan's Story, or weapon tech, or whatever you prefer after that order. Next is Eye of the Dragon, of course, but if you can, look for overhealth gain there and cap to all resistances if possible. Now follow that up with Plague Pendant and Archon's Tier. So going into our augments first, of course, we're going to show the vitality augments. You want to use Presence of Mind. Make sure you get some overhealth gain there if possible, and follow that up with Fortitude, Anathema, and Tarnished Heart, guys. Secondaries on our vitality augments, you want to focus on void damage first, then damage to cursed enemies. Next is the balancing act with recognizing how much vitality we have around Presence of Mind and resistances to all if needed. Just keep an eye on when you get your resistances capped out, whether it's resistances to all or Presence of Mind having vitality items around it. Whenever you are capped out, just go ahead and focus on other things after that. Now for our spirit, we're going to be using Arrow of Heaven. This is another way we're going to get our spirit ally whenever we place a banner, but we have to make sure 2 adjacent augments are red. For secondaries there, since it's spirit, we want to make sure we go with void damage, of course, then damage to cursed enemies. After that, it's kind of whatever you see fit. So let's get to the might augments. We're going to be using Focus, Cosmic Dance, and Paradise. Secondaries on our might items are going to focus on void damage first, damage to cursed enemies second. Also keep an eye out on where we have Paradise. If you need vitality for Presence of Mind, you can go ahead and throw that there. Following that up, let's go ahead and look at the skill tree. So the main things on the skill tree, I would say we want to have crit chance filled up, and we want soul shatter at least to level 4. The rest is dependent on your playstyle. At the most, I'd say if you're running Heavenly Reversal, go ahead and make sure you got that shield prime and that shield throw, but after that, again, it's on your playstyle. And that is the Cursed Spirit build, guys. As always, go ahead and shoot a comment. Let me know what you think of the build. Go ahead and let me know anything that you would change. If you do try the build, go ahead and let me know that as well. And by the way, just an FYI, I will be dropping at least 1 video a week on Godfall. It will increase once we get an update, but I also also will be dropping videos coming up on Riders Republic, and I also have another page, guys. So I will be dropping a ton of content, guys. It'll just be in a few different ways and spread out. Again, I will be going back to dropping 2 to 3 videos a week on Godfall whenever we get an update and it picks up. But for now, at least it'll be 1 video on Godfall. And I'll go ahead and post up a link to my other page if you're ever interested, guys, in how to make your own channel or reaction videos or anything on my personal life, guys. Go ahead and check that out. I appreciate your support there. And if you haven't found this video useful and haven't subscribed yet, go ahead and subscribe, guys, and hit that bell so you know when new videos drop. I appreciate you sticking it out to the end of this video, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.